and other elected leaders of cartelism, blackmail, greed, corruption, and intimidation. The chambers, as you can see, is already full. And the team that is being weighted is the Senate Special Committee, the members of that committee to get into the chambers and, of course, lead the House, or rather lead the different teams into hearing this petition case. Governor Kawira Mwangaza already seated anxiously there and, of course, waiting for the leadership of the committee to walk in and have her legal team began. Governor Kawira Mwangaza is also facing the charge of violation of public finance management laws. And on this charge, she said to have grossly violated Articles 201 and 207, subsection 1 of the Constitution, grossly violated Section 159 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, grossly violated Sections 12 and 24 of the Public Officer Ethics Act, grossly violated Section 16 and 35 of the Leadership and Integrity Act, and is said to have engaged in gross abuse of office by directing the Meru Teaching and Referral Hospital to spend all revenue at source, whereas all monies raised or received by or on behalf of the county should be paid into the county revenue fund. She is also said to have engaged in gross abuse of office by issuing waivers on fees at the Meru Teaching and Referral Hospital, whereas the County Executive Committee member for Finance is the only person legally empowered to grant such waivers. On this charge, Honorable Governor Kawira Mwangaza is also accused of abuse of office by directing county government officers to participate in furthering and advancing the interest of Baite TV, a media station owned by Mwangaza Advertiser Limited. This is a private company owned by the governor through her close relatives as proxies. So 5 charges that she is facing, all having been detailed in different grounds. And this morning, the legal team will be using the better part of the morning as a sitting or a session that will go all the way to the afternoon. But at the end of the day, the legal team will have its time to present its evidence. Of course, here trying by all means to counter all these accusations that have been leveled against her 5 charges. And yesterday, its legal team, while responding to these charges, of course, the governor herself had denied all these charges, and its legal team termed all of them as political witch hunt and lack merit to warrant her impeachment. So basically this morning they will be given that opportunity, because yesterday they said they have enough evidence on all these charges, starting from the one that MCS said that the governor does not want to work with the MCS, and all the way to the one that she made roadside appointments. There was also the issue of public participation, on whether the public participation was done in the correct manner, as we had seen the legal team from Governor Kawira Mwangaza saying that there was a bit of coercion on the side of the members of county assembly. Also, the public did not have enough time to do the public participation, and the legal team said they have enough evidence to that effect. So this morning it will be their turn to counter all those accusations, of course not just by word of mouth, but of course by presenting evidence, whether they will be having any witnesses taking the stand, whether they will be having any material, written material, whether they will be having any video clips to be played. Then this morning they will have that chance. What we are currently waiting for is for the committee, the special committee that is steering this hearing, to walk into the chambers, take their positions, and of course call the House, in this case, to order and start the hearing. And of course it will be the legal team for the Governor Kawira Mwangaza taking the time to present their evidence on, or rather before the committee. Governor Kawira Mwangaza, as you can see, she is there, of course, ready to have her team present her and give out all the evidence they have that will be countering all these accusations that have so far been leveled against her. On the grounds that make the charges, there is a ground that she is said to have done roadside appointments of county workers at Timau. There is also another ground that is said to have she did a roadside appointment of county workers that in Kubu. Yet another roadside appointment of county workers at Kianjai. And there is also a legal committee on the Meru municipality. And all these grounds that form the charges, the county assembly legal team yesterday presented their evidence by way of video clips. They played the video clips before the committee. On the roadside appointment of county workers at Timau, the governor is said to have grossly violated Articles 10, 232, 235, and 236 of the Constitution, and grossly violated Sections 55, 59, 59A, 60, 62, 63, 64, and 65 of the County Governments Act by appointing firefighters at a public rally at Timau, where they say in misguided and unsustainable populism, before conducting a transparent and competitive recruitment process. And as you can see, members, or rather all those individuals in the chambers, have been ordered to stand. As you can see, the chair of this committee with his members are walking into the chambers. It's an 11-member committee led by Senator Honorable Boni Halwale, Kakamega Senator, and also Senate Majority Chief Whip. He is in the chambers. These proceedings are taking place at the Senate chambers. I will now hand you over for this live broadcast brought to you by KBC in partnership with Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit. Good morning. My name is Kamche Menza.
Us, thy servants, whom thou hast been pleased to call to leadership positions in this republic, we seek guidance to treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen. We may be seated. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. We thank you for yesterday. We thank God for the mercies of allowing us to come this far. So far, so good. I want that before we start the program, I would like to give the Council of the County Assemblies, the lead council, an opportunity if he has anything procedural to raise. Same to the Council of the Governor.
Thank you very much, Chair, for the opportunity. As intimidated in the night, I note it was in the morning, though it was at night. You gave us leave yesterday morning to file additional replies in response to the additional material that the Governor placed on record. And last night I had explained to the Senate the practical difficulty we find ourselves in, that we were here up to around midnight. We had to steal a few hours of rest and now are here again, and you must terminate your proceedings today. So it is not humanly possible for us to place those materials on record between now and the time this trial ends. So in the circumstances, we pray for two options subject to whatever finds favor with you. One, we could place the material on record later on after we adjourn today. That will give problems that the other side might equally tell you they have not seen it, it has not been tested before this forum, so that will raise its own problems. Alternatively, you could allow us, as we cross-examine the witnesses called by the Governor, to cross-examine on those additional materials, and tied to that, you could excuse us, so that, because my concern when I was raising the issue is I didn't want the record to reflect that I was given the opportunity to file additional material, but I did not take up that opportunity when the reason for my failure to take it is that it was humanly impossible within the time frames fixed by law. That was the request, Chair.
The Council for the Governor.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman and Honorable Committee. The representative for the Governor, as yesterday, my name is Manasseh Mwangi, the lead counsel. We appear together with Mr. Elias Mutuma and Mr. Robert Mutebei. On our part, we do not have any procedural issue that would like to address at this point. However, I would like to respond to the issue raised by the Council for the County Assembly with the kind permission of Honorable Chair. Yesterday, the team for the Governor supplied materials and a supplementary affidavit, which was allowed. It had been served on the Council for the County Assembly the day before yesterday. In the course of arguing whether or not those materials should be placed on record, the Council for the County Assembly indicated they had perused through those materials and they had seen there is nothing in it and they would add no value. They were all aware, all along, what is the contents of the evidentiary materials that we added in these proceedings. Honorable Chairman, we are opposed to the two suggestions that the Council for the County Assembly invites this committee to allow them to exercise. One, they had an opportunity to address those materials yesterday in the course of fielding their witnesses. They would have referred their witnesses to the materials that were new and let them comment, thrashing them. In fact, that happened after the examination in chief, and towards the end of that part of examination in chief, the witnesses for the county assembly were taken through the bundles of documents produced by the governor. And that was the opportunity for the council for the county assembly to introduce any evidence that would controvert the evidentiary material that was supplied as a supplementary. Honorable Chairman, there was another opportunity and another way out. The council for the county assembly would have prayed and made an application before this committee and request to be allowed to field a witness, either with a very short witness statement and the rest of the testimony be taken on oath from the witness stand. And Honorable Chairman, we had yesterday so many witnesses who came and departed from the witness statements they had supplied us, and they gave totally new evidence. We did not object to that. They had that opportunity, and they did not exercise it. If material is introduced after we have closed our case, the council for the county assembly states it rightly. We will never have an opportunity or even knowing what is the nature of those materials. This morning, this committee has not been told what are the materials that are intended to be introduced. What is the value of those materials to the case for the county assembly? And what will be the importance of those materials in controverting any defense that the governor may field? This committee, just the same as the council for the governors, we do not know what materials we are being told is going to be introduced later. It is not even suggested by way of passing, even from the stand by the council, what kind of materials will be supplied. We object to the suggestion and the invitation to crawl in the darkness to agree to materials which we do not know what they contain. The last option, that in the course of cross-examination, new evidence can be introduced. I have already stated that opportunity was available yesterday, and they had all the documents and all that evidence that the governor is fielding today. They could have done that in the course of examination in chief and re-examination. They take through their witnesses through all our statements and affidavits, and they allow them controvert. We cannot allow introduction of evidence at the defense hearing. And there will be a legal, the last point, there will be a legal dilemma. That evidence that will be introduced through cross-examination, will it be the testimony of the county assembly or the testimony of the council for the county assembly? That can be a dilemma that cannot be addressed in law, and it's unheard of. We object to those proposals. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you very much. Members, just take note. I want us to exhaust completely so that when you come in, it now invites me to make a ruling. Mr. Muthomi Thia Ngolu, what is your take?
Chair, I think my colleague has forgotten a number of things. One, you already made the decision to allow us to respond to that material. That decision, I don't think, is being appealed or revisited. It has been made. The reason I made the request I made before you is that although you granted me that leave, it is evident to everyone who has either been here or following these proceedings that me and my entire team were stuck here all way past midnight. And although on paper the chair gave me the opportunity, it has not been humanly possible for me to take that opportunity. And I told you my fear is that whereas it is humanly impossible, I am afraid when your committee retreats, it will have in its mind that I was given an opportunity that I didn't take up, and yet the reason I didn't take it up was that it was humanly impossible within the circumstances and context we were working. Number two, listening to the high moral ground taken by my colleague, he forgets My colleague has forgotten how we got here. And if I remind the Senate how we got here, is that the governor filed documents out of time. The registry, the clerk's office advised the governor, you're filing these documents out of time, we cannot accept them. Go to the committee, seek leave to have these documents admitted on the record. And the committee gave him that leave. No one can fault the committee for that, except that immediately he was given that leave and the documents were treated. He tells you they were served on us. What he hasn't told you on the record, which I told you yesterday, he not only filed them outside the time set by your rules, he actually purported to serve them way past 5 p.m. on the day after the expiry of his deadline. And I remember telling you, we saw those documents yesterday morning as we were packing our bados. He tells you, because I made certain passing comments on those documents, it is clear, therefore, I have had the opportunity to reflect on them. Chair, that is not how it works. In our profession, what I would do if we were in an ideal situation, and this is not ideal because of the timelines, is that my team and I will sit down, go through those documents with a tooth comb, flag what we believe are the issues, take instructions from our client, the county assembly, and based on our reflections and the instructions we get, we will then be able to decide what response, what position do we take. Things I took on the bar here studying extempore cannot really be taken. My colleague knows that's not how the legal profession works. And at any rate, Chair, for me, if you assure me that this human impossibility my team and I are placed in will not be used against us, then there is not an issue.
You've met your point. Members, I want now to make a ruling. If any one of you would like to help us a little bit by sharing his thoughts, these things must be done in the open. Yes.
Chair, I thank you, and I want to just support what the Council for the County Assembly has said. Mr. Chairman, in my position, I don't think that Council for the Governor has any standing to raise the objection that he raised. And I'm happy that Council for the Assembly has reminded him how we got here. I'm looking at my notes, Chair. The items that were introduced, they told us they omitted 3 affidavits from their own bundle. Then one video that forms part of the record was not uploaded, or they gave the wrong flash disk. They are not in any position to raise the objection that they are raising. I do not see any prejudice that would be suffered by the governor if Council for the County Assembly was allowed to cross-examine on this material that we very graciously accepted ourselves as a committee. And you remember, Chair, the thinking was that in these proceedings we would like as much material as possible placed before this committee so that we can help save the situation in the county of Meru. So I think from where I sit, Council for the Governor is out of order with that objection, Mr. Chair.
Chairman. Arif? Yes, very quickly, Chairman, the position by the Council of the County Assembly is the true position, because that is the point at which we closed last night, and that was already granted. It's not a new request that is being processed, but a request that has already been granted as it is, and in the actual sense from the proceedings of yesterday, the favor was extended by the County Assembly, legal team, by not objecting but allowing that to happen. And if they don't have time now, I think the cross-examination should be given the opportunity for them to do what needs to be done. And that ruling happened yesterday. It's not a new ruling.
Yes, Vice Chair, you will come after after Senator Moruma.
Sorry, Chair. What I wanted to raise has been raised by Senator already, Ali, Roba, that the decision for
Moruma, if you give me 2 minutes, just hold it here.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I just wanted to state that what Senator Ali has said is that the decision was made yesterday, that the Council for the MCAs can respond to the affidavits and the extra video during the cross-examination. That's it.
Yes, Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to confirm that, and I think that is where we stopped yesterday. By them being allowed to cross-examine the Council for the County Assemblies of Meru, the new evidence, the new affidavit that the governor's people brought in. So they should be allowed to cross-examine, and that you ruled yesterday, Chair. It's not.
Kiambu.
Thank you very much, Chair, and good morning. I would just want to remind the Council of the Governor, of which the Governor is a bishop, that in the Bible, book of Matthew, there was a servant who was forgiven his debts, but later on he went to get the money from another servant whom he owed. So what I'm trying to say is that yesterday we allowed the governor to produce extra. We actually give them evidential flexibility, but now they don't want the side of the assembly to execute that evidence. But my question is, at what time do we allow the assembly to execute that evidence? I said before the governor starts executing their case, or is it within? I know they're asking when it's coming to cross-examination. So I have not consulted my friend lawyer here, Sifuna, but I'm putting this across so that we see what is the best part. Either we agree with the assembly, they start with their case now, or whatever you decide, Chairman.
That is it. Mandago, you have something?
Thank you very much, Chair. This is Senator Mandago for Wasingishu, and my apologies, I was not able to be here yesterday, but I followed the proceedings very keenly. Mr. Chairman, listening to the Council for the Governor, I really don't understand why, if they are confident themselves, when they submitted this additional evidence as to why the County Assembly Council cannot prosecute the same. So I think in the interest of fairness, because we want to have as much information as possible as a committee to enable us make a fair and just decision, as a chairman, I think it's only fair that the County Assembly Council is given opportunity to look at the, to cross-examine this new evidence.
Thank you. Senator Tobiko.
Chair, I think maybe, you know, what is clear, of course, that it was already allowed yesterday to be done at cross-examination. But I think what the Council for the County Assembly is asking is if they can put in written responses later on. I think that's the issue now.
So, this is a small one. We don't have to retreat to make a decision. The decision is hereby made. Council for the County Assembly, you have absolutely no excuse to want to give the impression that there is something which is humanly, using your own language, humanly impossible. We have had a lot of time. We adjourned at 1:45. That is 5.5 hours for you to sleep. Then if you woke up at 6, you have had all the morning up to now, which is 10. So you have all the time. The issue of time does not arise. The second point is to the Council for the Governor. As the white people who taught us this procedure say, what is good for the goose is always good for the gander. So if it was good for the goose called the governor to be allowed to file that evidence yesterday, that which you should have filed by 5 p.m. on 25th, on Saturday. Yes? 24th. On 24th. By 5 p.m. 24th on Saturday. If it was good for you, then you must carry it with you that it was also good for the gander to also enjoy what we allowed the county assembly to enjoy. But when we allowed the county assembly, we did not give them a blanket. We asked them to make a decision on how they want to be accommodated. And they have said, Council, that all they will do is not to try and file new evidence. Even if they did, it would not be admissible. They're just saying, as you prosecute your case, they will come and cross-examine your witnesses, and during that process, they'll be able to achieve that which they thought they were losing. So we are granting them that for every witness you bring, they'll cross-examine, and you don't have to fear, because even after cross-examination, you will be given an opportunity to re-examine. And if there are any areas that look rough, you'll brush them off, and everybody will be happy. That will be the ruling, and seeing that there's no other interjection, there's one final thing which I didn't do. I'm sorry.
Chair, kindly. Chair.
What is that?
I'm by you, sir. Honorable Chair, this is not on the submissions.
Mr. Speaker, order, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you will be seated. You will be seated. Mr. Speaker, sir. Order. So there is also something procedural which I had not done. Forgive me for this. Immediately after prayer, I want to allow honorable members, one by one, members of the committee, you introduce yourself, starting with my friend.
Good morning again. My name is Peris Tobiko, nominated senator and a member of the select committee. Thank you.
Good morning all. My name is Jones Maruma, senator for Taita Taveta, member of this committee.
Good morning, everyone. Once again, my name is Edwin Sifuna, senator for Nairobi and a member of this committee.
My name is Karungo Wadhangwa, senator, Kiambu County, and a member of this committee.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Eddie Gisheru Okech, senator for Migori County, and humbled to be a member of this committee.
My name is Jackson Mandago, the senator for Singishu County and a member of this committee.
Good morning. My name is Okenyuri Esther, nominated senator and a member of this committee.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Joseph Kiduku, senator for Lamu, and a member of this committee. I'm sorry.
Morning, everyone. My name is Ali Ibrahim Roba, senator for Mandera County and member of this committee.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Senator Kavindu Agnes Mudhama, Senator for Machakos County. I'm the vice chair of this committee.
Thank you very much. Also in plenary, we have the following members of the National Assembly and distinguished senators. The Honorable Mburi Apuri, Member of Parliament from Meru. The Honorable Senator Cherargei, Senator of Nandi. Senator of Nandi, could you please? They want to know who it is. Me, I know who you are. Thank you. Thank you very much, Senator. The Honorable Senator Meru. Thank you, Meru. The youngest senator in Kenya. The Honorable Senator Omtata. Thank you. The Honorable, Omtata, Senator for Busia. The Honorable Senator Wamatinga, the Senator of Nyeri. And finally, but not least, I will invite our Deputy Speaker, who is also the Senator of Meru, to not only introduce himself, but to make a remark. And the remark by the Speaker is not for record. It's off the record. Speaker.
Thank you, Chair. I am Kaduri Murungi, the Senator for Meru County and the Deputy Speaker of the Senate. I want to greet you all in the name of Jesus Christ. As Chair, yesterday I requested whether you could supply me with the documents or materials as the Senator for Meru County, which has the issue at hand, so that I can be able to follow the proceedings. And you promised to do that today, because yesterday you told me the Secretariat and not compiled all the documents. Honorable Chair, you remember yesterday I sat here throughout the day, but I was just a pedestrian, like those watching from their homes or from the streets. So since I'm here not supporting any of the signs, but I'm here as a Senator for Meru and representing the Ngund County of Meru County. So I'm here as a neutral person, just to listen to the proceedings. Because even after the outcome of whatever outcome from this sitting of this committee, we have a county to protect, called Meru. We shall all retreat as a senator to go back to Meru, and we have a county to live in, because we can't move away from Meru. So, Honorable Chair, I request, if it is humanly possible, let me use the word from our learned friend Dr. Viankoru Mudomi. If it is humanly possible, can you kindly supply me the documents so that also I'll be able to follow the proceedings. Last night, Honorable Chair, as I conclude, many constituents, my constituents from Meru County, were calling me to ask me, our senator, was that document read? Did you see it? Was it the right one? How was it? I could not even tell, was it blue, was it yellow, was it red? So, Chair, so that I can be able to really represent my people who brought me to this house, kindly allow the Secretary to provide me with the documents so that I can also be able to follow the proceedings on both sides. I wish this is on record, that I'm here not to support any of the sides, but to hear the issues brought to this House, Honorable House, and by the County Assembly of Meru, and the issues which are being also presented here by the County Government of Meru. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, you know how much we respect you, and because you always sit in this seat where I'm seated, you know the challenges that come with it. Any decision made by myself is the decision of this committee, drawing its mandate from the rest of the Senate. We took a decision yesterday that we will not release documents, and for good reason. We did not want to disadvantage the governor. The governor's evidence was not yet public. In law, Article 35 of the Constitution, that gives all of us the right of access to information, we can only enjoy it from now, because now the documents by the governor are being made public. We did not want to disadvantage her case. So I therefore direct to you, the Deputy Speaker, Senator Cherargei, who had the same complaint yesterday, and others, that you will now be supplied with copies. I'm confident that the governor will not have been disadvantaged. It is so directed. I now want to invite the Yes, Governor, I'm informed that you are ready. Could the lead counsel for the governor? Yes. The consultation from the Senator of Migori, he approached the chair, and I'm now allowing him to repeat the same thing, so that the record captures his concerns as I give a ruling. Yes, Senator of Migori.
Chair, I just seek to the understanding of this committee under Standing Order number 80 of the Senate. It's a procedural question which is on the removal of the governor. And if you go through our Standing Orders number 80, this House is advised by the Standing Orders that you either go the special committee way or you go the committee of the whole. And this special committee is sitting after the House had chosen that the special committee handles this matter. By allowing other senators to participate in the process, whether directly or indirectly, by interacting with these documents, which, to be fair, will be subjected to a report that will be reported to the committee of the whole. Are we defying our own standing orders?
Edwin Safuna, do we really want to belabor it?
No, Chair, I think you've made the right decision. Our colleague from Meru, sitting here, following the proceedings, there's absolutely no prejudice to the process. If when counsel for the governor is referring the committee to a document, he also has a document to look at it. That is not a participation. He's not going to ask any questions. He just wants to follow the proceedings so that those questions that he's saying the people of Meru are asking him, at least he'll know the color of the documents that the governor supplied today.
Thank you. Senator of Migori, distinguished gentleman, okay. Unfortunately, Standing Order number 80 flows from the Constitution of Kenya. The same Constitution that provides in Article 35 the right of access to information. So because we have no power to suspend Article 35, the members who are here must enjoy that article. However, as they enjoy the article, it should not be to the detriment of this process and also the right of the governor. So the way to go, Senator, is that now that the governor is introducing the documents in public, they are therefore public documents. There's nothing that stops you from accessing them, plus the people of Meru through their senator. Secondly, having access to them, we also have to do a bit of hygienic management of the process, in the sense that, A, senators, you will not be allowed to participate in the proceedings. The moment we do that, we will have opened parallel proceedings, one which is by the select committee and one which is by the committee of the whole, where all of you would be participating. So you'll only go through, but forever keep quiet. Then finally, as you leave, we have agreed that all these documents are very sensitive. They remain on the desk. So do not carry documents with you. It is so directed.
Well guided, Chair.
Yes.
And Chair, I want to confirm to you and the committee that I will not participate in questioning, and I will not leave this seat with any document, just for consumption while I'm sitting here. Thank you.
Chair.
And I encourage the Senator of Meru to stay in up to the end, because we want the people of Meru to be satisfied that the process is actually above board. I can see my distinguished senator from Nandi, my neighbor. He's dying to catch my attention with standing order. Yes, I have seen you, but I will not allow you. The moment you prosecute your standing order, you are participating in the proceedings, unfortunately.
Chair.
Thank you. And some of the documents will be on the iPad shortly. Members of the Senate, you know the other way. You can easily have your matters raised by communicating with the senators who are on the committee. If you have something you say, what do you think? You can write a small chat, it goes there, so long as you don't disrupt the sittings. Very well. So, Senator Mandako?
Yes, Chair. Thank you very much for that guidance, Chair. We appreciate. But I think the Senator for Meru, from what he said the people of Meru are asking him the colors of the documents. So I think, Chair, it should also be clear that it is not in his mandate to go and discuss the matters of this committee with the people of Meru. He leaves the matters to the committee. So it is for his consumption within this sitting, Chair.
I think that goes with the earlier ruling, and it is so directed. Very well. So, Council, how many witnesses are you calling?
Thank you, Chairman. Manassas Mwangi, Counsel for the Governor, with Arias Mutuma and Robert Mutembei. Honorable Chairman, the Governor filed a response to this charge. The response is the one dated the 23rd of December 2022 and filed on 24th December. It's accompanied by the supporting affidavit of Her Excellency the Governor Kawira Mwangaza, sworn on 23rd December 2022. The Governor have also filed a supplementary affidavit. That supplementary affidavit was sworn by Harrison Katobu Getonga on the 26th, on the 26th of December 2022. We also rely on the bundle of documents supplied to this honorable committee as volume 2 of the governor's bundles. At this juncture, we will field one witness Mr. Harrison Gatobu Getonga, and we'll see how far we go with the Harrison Gatobu Getonga. We intend to redeem the time for this committee, and we believe this witness will address all the issues. But should occasion arise, we'll rearrange. But for now, we'll call this one witness to testify on the basis of the documents filed before this committee.
Very well. This is a very important procedural issue. The governor was invited by the County Assembly of Meru. She declined when the process was building to come here. So I wanted to be on record. Do you wish to call the governor before this committee or not?
Honorable Chairman, the governor indicated in the response will appear by herself and by counsel. And we have filed an affidavit sworn by the governor. We will have the governor rely on the answer to the response, to the motion, and the supporting affidavit.
For the record, will you be requesting or expecting that the governor be given an opportunity to be heard by this committee?
We do not intend the governor to testify verbally. She will rely on her affidavit.
Thank you very much. I want you to know that as you proceed, if at any time you would wish the governor to be heard, we will hear her. We do not want it to be your position that she was gagged by this committee.
Most obliged, Honorable
You're
Chair.
welcome. You're welcome.
Guided.
You may proceed.
For the team for the governor, Mr. Elias Mutuma will lead a witness in chief. You're welcome.
I, Harrison Gatobu Getonga, do solemnly swear that the evidence that I shall give before this committee in respect of the matters before this committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you, Chair, for the opportunity. For the record, my name is Elias Mutuma, counsel appearing on instructions of the governor. Mr. Harrison, kindly, again for the record, state your full names.
My names are Harrison Gatobu Getonga.
Do you also go by any other names?
Yes.
What other names do you go by?
Njamba Mvithi Harrison Getonga.
Would you care to explain the origin and status of your second name?
It was a nickname, but I sworn an affidavit and it was gazetted on 2nd of December.
So you're in the process of changing your name?
Yes.
So is it your testimony that in some instances you might have signed certain documents using your new name that has already been gazetted?
Yes.
Thank you very much. What role do you play in the county government of Meru?
I'm the Chief of Staff and the Private Secretary to the Governor of Meru County.
And what are your roles as the Chief of Staff? What are your functions? Kindly state them for the record.
Management of our diary and overseeing all functions and activities in the office of the Governor, as well as receiving all respondences from all quarters to the office of the Governor.
Is that all?
Managing the staff that is in the office of the Governor and communicating from the office of the Governor to the other quarters.
Chair, with your permission, may I get directions on time? I did not get the directions.
Thank you. Ask for time. How much time do you want?
2 hours, Chair. I recall that we have a total of 3.5 hours for both examination in chief and the cross-examination. So I can have 2 hours now. Counsel for the respondent can have a bit of it, then some remainder of it goes to re-examination.
You want the counsel for the county assembly to have part of your 2 hours, or what do you mean?
No. That is just purely for my examination in chief.
Okay.
Yes.
Chairman.
Though I know I might not even need the entire time.
Chairman, with your permission, Wakili, I presume that we are going to be relying on this witness statement that is volume 3?
Correct, and the affidavit that he has sworn.
Where's the affidavit?
We filed that affidavit yesterday.
Yeah, we have advised you from yesterday that if you want us to follow your case, whenever you are bringing your witness there, you refer us to the documents that you will be relying. Counsel, I raise this because I only have the witness statement, and that witness statement has 8 paragraphs. You want to tell us you will be taking us through 8 paragraphs in 2 hours?
Not really. There is an affidavit sworn by the witness on 26th of December 2022. The same was filed yesterday, pursuant to the leave granted by this committee. Perhaps the Secretariat can share the same with...
Okay, Chair.
Thank you.
Chair.
Thank you. Yes. Is there somebody calling?
Yes.
Yes, Mandago.
Chair, the document the council is referring to, I want to presume is the one that is unmarked, so the document should be marked for ease of referencing.
My apologies again. We were preparing this document while we were still proceeding with this hearing yesterday. That ought to be volume 4, because we have volume 1, 2, 3, and 4. So for the record, that ought to be referred as volume 4.
Chair, there are 2 supplementary documents. Which one is volume? There are 2. The bigger one.
Okay. This is a management issue. It will not stop us from proceeding. I want to ask one of your counsels to approach the chair so that we guide them on how to manage these documents as you proceed. Counsel for the County Assembly, you have heard you're being asked to take some time. Yes. Today we're very strict with time. Yeah.
Chair, we will need 1.5 hours minimum if this is the sole witness, because my assumption is if he is the sole witness, then he is the one that will speak to every allegation in the impeachment motion and every claim made by the governor in response to that impeachment motion. So we pray that you give us 90 minutes of cross-examination.
Very good. This special committee of the Senate will not gag anybody. We therefore give you 120 minutes, 2 hours, and the county assembly, you have 90 minutes plus an extra 10 minutes should you need it. Governor, you have been in office for that long, but just 64 days after being in office, your colleagues who are elected by you, alongside with you, are asking the Senate that you go away forever, just after 64 days. And they have not just come shouting, they have come with 62 grounds. I'm therefore giving you 2 hours to move slowly, meticulously. You discharge yourself on each and every one of those 62 counts. We will allow you. And members of County Assembly will further allow you to ensure that you prove your case on every count. Witness.
Chair. Just to assist colleagues, I think that we have the document, just that for the purpose of colleagues in the committee, volume 3 is of course well marked, but then there is an affidavit which is not marked, but it is there. So just check on your files, you'll have it.
That is exactly why I asked them to approach the chair. Already an instruction has been given so that they are marked quietly as the sitting is going on. And members, unless something is out of order, if we can manage to be silent for 2 hours, it will be very useful. But if something is out of order, draw my attention, we'll do it. If it is something that is not out of order, approach the chair, we sort it out kienyeji, as they say in Kiswahili. Yes, proceed.
Thank you, Chair, for the guidance. Mr. Harrison Gatobu,
yes,
you were explaining your other duties, especially you wearing the hat of the private secretary to the governor. What other duties do you discharge?
The other duties, I'm always the MC of the functions that the governor attends.
By the MC, you mean Master of Ceremony?
Yes.
Proceed.
I'm also present in the meetings that are held by governor, either in office or in the public or outside the office.
Does that include all the meetings where the governor is appearing? Your presence will also be there?
Yes.
So then you have a personal knowledge of all the incidences that the governor is accused of?
Yes.
Am I right to suggest that you have a close working relationship with the governor?
Yes.
Have you had the occasion to read the notice of motion for impeachment of the governor?
Yes.
Both at the county assembly and before this select committee?
Yes.
Are you aware of all the charges facing the governor?
Yes.
How many are they in number?
62.
62 charges in total.
The charges were 5, but they had the small ones, the specific ones, 62.
62 of them. Have you had an opportunity to read the governor's response on each of those charges?
Yes.
You will agree with me that the bulk of the allegations and charges are in respect of illegal appointments, nepotism, and so on.
Yes.
As the person in charge of staff, does it concern you when the governor is accused of illegal appointments? Is that within your docket?
Yes, it is.
It is within your docket.
Yes.
So when you came across the accusations touching on illegal appointments and nepotism, did you take any action as the chief of staff?
Yes.
What action did you take specifically in respect to the allegation of the first gentleman of Meru being appointed to a county office? What step did you take?
First, I confirmed that there is no a public office that he was appointed to, and to do that, there is no office either in my office or office of the governor or anyone under that capacity in the team that I lead in the office of the governor.
So it is your evidence that the first gentleman is not one of the staff
He is
that
not.
work for the county assembly under you?
He is not.
Has there been any office, physical office, where the first gentleman of Meru has been given a space to operate in?
No.
By the governor of Meru?
No.
Have you come across any letter of appointment touching on the appointment of the first gentleman?
No.
Has the first gentleman given any instructions that you are aware of in respect of any functions within the county?
No.
Did you ever seek to clarify the issue of the appointment of the first gentleman with any office, specifically the office of the County Public Service Board?
Yes.
Can you kindly give this committee the benefit of that evidence where you sought that clarification? Is there any document to support that assertion?
Yes. They are attached in the reply from the governor.
And by this, you're talking of volume 2?
Yes.
What page are we talking about? Honorable members, I'm referring to volume 2 of the governor's response. Specifically page 48 to 77 of that bundle. Kindly point to the committee where your letter or any communication to the County Public Service Board touching on the appointment of the first gentleman appears.
Thank you, Chair, honorable members. When I got this information, I wrote the first letter to the Secretary Public Service Board.
What is the date of that letter?
22nd of November.
What did you inquire from the County Public Service Board?
I was requesting to know about the arranged appointment of the first gentleman and a few other people that I listed in my letter.
Did you get a response from the County Public Service Board?
Yes.
Where
but I need to say the same letter was copied to other offices.
Thank you. Can you indicate whether you got a response from the office of the County Public Service Board?
Yes, I got a letter.
And what was the date of that response?
23rd of November.
23rd of November.
Yes.
And what was the response that is contained in that letter?
The response from the Public Service Board is that the first gentleman was not employed by the Public Service Board.
Thank you very much. Did you take any other step to confirm whether the first gentleman is drawing any remuneration of any kind from the county government of Meru?
Yes.
And how did you do that confirmation?
I indeed a letter to the payroll manager.
Yes. Where is that letter in your bundle of documents, still at volume 2?
Yes.
What page is it?
Is page 54.
54 of a bundle. Is that your letter? Are you sure?
That is the response that I got.
Yes. And what was the response from the payroll master?
Is that they are not in the payroll.
Then he is not in the payroll.
Yes, he is not in the payroll.
Thank you. But we have seen the governor making statements to the effect that he has appointed the first gentleman. First of all, were you present when that announcement was made?
Yes.
What was the occasion when that pronouncement was made? And if you also recall the date, kindly tell us the date of that pronouncement.
It was 30th of October.
Which year?
2022.
What was the occasion?
That is the time that Governor was naming the CECs.
The CECs, were there any other offices that were being named on that day apart from CECs?
Yes.
What other offices were being named?
The advisors to the governor.
The advisors to governor?
Yes.
Is that the occasion where the first gentleman was pronounced to be appointed by the governor?
Yes.
In what office was the first gentleman appointed by the governor?
The ambassadors of the Asoras ambassador.
Asoras ambassador?
Yes.
Is that an office within the Meru County government?
No.
Is it an office that has been established newly by the County Public Service Board?
No.
Then what was that office all about?
It was just an honorary office. Actually, to add something small, Excellency the governor was operating another program called Okolea, and because of our duties as the governor, he decided to have someone who has been close to that program that she has been doing for quite some time, who will not be paid and who will work with her on that program. That's when the first gentleman was named as the Asoras ambassador.
So is it your evidence that this was a community empowerment initiative?
Yes.
Is it unique for first ladies or first gentlemen of any of the counties or even the national government to spearhead or to be appointed in a community empowerment program of their choice?
It's not unique.
Are you aware if any of the other first ladies of Meru have ever been involved in similar initiatives?
Yes, I'm aware.
You're aware. At this point, Chair and committee, allow us play a video contained in a flash disk. The same is marked as KMS6B.
Chair, as the video is being prepared, let us see where the transcription is. The council can show us where the transcription is.
The video is in English, Honorable Member, so there is no need for translation. Thank you.
We are very, very happy today. We have come here to launch the Meru Toesa program. It consists of the following women. The first one is Priscilla Murungi. She's not here with us. She's the first lady. She's going to be the patron of this group. The second one is Josephine Bayer. The board will be supported by a strong secretariat from the Ministry of Gender and Social Development. The minister is going to identify some of the officers who will be working with you in that board. And the board will be funded by part of the budget which is allocated to the Ministry of Education, Technology, Culture, and Gender and Social Development to enable you to move to all the corners of this county.
Thank you very much. I am sure most of the members of this select committee are aware of the person talking, but for the record, kindly tell us who is in that video and what has he done?
Is the former governor, Meru County, His Excellency Kiraito Murungi. Well, he was appointing the First Lady, Priscilla Murungi, to a position of patron to Aweza program in Meru County.
In your understanding, is the office for which the First Lady was being appointed a public office under the county government?
It is not.
It is not. Is that office, was it ever funded by taxpayers' money?
Yes.
It was?
It was funded.
Has that been confirmed from the video by the governor himself that they will draw their support from the Ministry of, is it Education?
Yes.
Thank you. Was that appointment subsequently forwarded to the County Assembly for vetting?
No.
Are you aware if any of the members of that board were ever vetted by the County Assembly?
I'm not aware.
Are you aware of any complaints, proceedings, or even an attempt to impeach the then governor of Meru for appointing a spouse to that office?
I'm not aware.
You're not aware. Was that appointment ever published to the public subsequently?
Yes, it was. I also saw the Gazette notice of the same.
By that Gazette notice, you're referring to the document contained at page 27 of our bundle of documents, honorable members. So in that Gazette notice, the governor is appointing the spouse?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Across the other counties, have you also come across similar initiatives by either first ladies or first gentlemen?
Yes.
Spearheading community empowerment programs of their choice?
Yes.
Can you give an instance of such initiatives that you are aware of? And have you brought any evidence, rather has any evidence of that nature been brought to this committee?
Yes.
Where is that evidence contained?
Evidence from page 31.
All the way to page?
All the way to page number 40.
Number 40.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I am sure you've also come across the accusation that the governor has appointed certain people who either do not qualify or without following procedure into public office.
Yes, I'm aware.
Who were those people that are said to have been appointed by the governor?
There is one Monene Samaritan.
One Monene Samaritan.
There is one Enere Muzungu.
Ende Muzungu.
And there is one Ernest Mutembei.
Again, as the chief of staff, are those employees of the county?
No, they are not.
Did you ever seek to confirm their status, the employment status with the county?
Yes, I did.
Can you show this committee where you sought to establish their status?
I wrote letters to the Public Service Board. I wrote, that is in page number 49. I wrote the letter to the Chief Officer, Legal Affairs at the Public Service and Administration, and to the payroll.
All those letters are appearing following each other from page 49 onwards?
Yes.
And what was the response from the County Public Service Board?
They all responded with the attached letters that those are not employees of the county government of Meru and they are not earning any money or any pay from county government of Meru.
That letter is the one contained at page 52 of our bundle, volume 2?
Yes.
And who is the author of that letter?
The other is the CEO of the Public Service Board by the name Virginia Kagweria.
Yesterday, this letter was disputed during cross-examination, that indeed Virginia Kawera is not the CEO County Public Service Board. What comment do you have to make to that respect?
My comment is when you get to the office, we got the person who was the county secretary, CEO of Public Service Board. Her term was ending. She did around 2 months, and then thereafter, there is an acting CEO, but on the same strength, the position has been advertised.
That position has been advertised?
Yes.
So Virginia is currently acting?
Yes.
Pending a substantial office holder?
Yes.
Substantive rather, office holder?
Yes.
Do you have any evidence of that advertisement?
Yes.
Where is it contained? As you try to trace it, we will assist you, but let's proceed for the sake of time. So you confirm that indeed Virginia had the capacity to author that letter?
Yes.
Did you also take any steps to confirm if any of those alleged appointees draw any form of remuneration from the county government of Meru?
Yes, I did.
How did you do that?
By a letter to the payroll manager.
What is the date of the letter and where is it contained? Is it the one under page 53? 53?
Yes.
Is it 53 or 54?
It is page 54.
Page 54.
Yes.
So that is your communication to the payroll master?
Yes.
And what did the payroll master respond to?
Actually, that was the response.
Yes.
That was our response. The payroll master responded by that letter that is in page 54. My letter was copied actually to him by the Chief Officer, Legal Affairs.
Thank you. So you have a response under page 54 confirming that indeed none of those appointees draw any form of remuneration from the Meru County government?
Yes.
Are you also aware if